Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This week I thought I'd take a slight break from showing a bunch of books that have been going up in value or some of the crazy prices that I've been showing over the last week. I'll get back to that over the last couple of weeks. I'll get back to that next week with another video. But like I said, I wanted to take some time out to talk about this subject here. We've seen some of these books, over the last few months, right? I've been showing some videos over the last few weeks. Some of these books have just been going up in value like crazy. Some crazy prices have been these books have been getting. So, what's the cause of all this? There's been chatter about that in some of the comments and in other YouTube channels, but I just figured I would talk about a couple of things related to this topic as well. It's just from my point of view. I don't say that my point of view is the, be all end all of point of views when it comes to this particular subject. But for me, why are some of these books like getting such crazy prices? Came up with a couple of things. I think number one, well, at least number one on my list right here, I think the TV shows have been a big influence of that. Okay, since The Mandalorian and Wandavision and all these other Disney Plus shows that are coming out, and all these other things, I think that's greatly affected the market, greatly affected the prices of some of these books. Let's take a look at Star Wars, with The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian was it is rather a very popular show. And I think a lot of fans, both new and old, really appreciate the direction and the storytelling and the characters on that show. In contrast to maybe some of the issues they had with the new the new sequel movies, like The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, and all that other stuff. A lot of the Rise of Skywalker. So when The Mandalorian came out, and it was pretty much what it seemed, at least, what everybody wanted in a Star Wars show. People started taking interest in some of the characters that are from this expanded universe that are appearing on this show, and there's a lot of speculation about that. So I do think that the TV shows have played a great role in this recent surge. We'll take a look at WandaVision, right? Now, X-Men number 4, which is the first appearance of the Scarlet Witch, I remember buying that for a couple $100 about 7 years ago. And I have a 4.0 copy. So you might say, well, 7 years ago was a while ago. Yes and no. It was a while ago in a sense. It was right after, I purchased it right after, or was it right after or right before? I think it was right before, actually. Scarlet Witch showed up in Age of Ultron. I think Age of Ultron came out, 2015? So I had it before then. But even then, X-Men 4 was an expensive book. It was several $100s, depending on the grade and all that. But now I'm looking at some prices online, and I've covered this in the previous videos. Thousands of dollars low-grade copies are fetching. And that is just mind-boggling for me, because a while, a low-grade, mid-grade copy was probably anywhere between $500 and $800. Now, a low-grade 4.0, 5.0 copy is fetching several thousand. Back then when I first got the book, I would never have imagined that my copy, or at least at this moment in time, would be worth several $1,000s. I mean, if I had a book that was worth several $1,000s back then, it was X-Men number 1. That was like the creme de la creme of my collection. Even my Hulk 181 didn't reach that level back then. So to see how these things have changed so much, in my opinion, such a short amount of time, because of some of these TV shows, I think it's amazing. It really is. It's just astounding. Another reason why I think that some of these prices are going up so high is because there's a lot of unpredictability in what characters are going to show up on these TV shows or in movies. Take a look at WandaVision. I'll go back to WandaVision. Who would have thought Agatha Harkness would have showed up, right? No one saw that one coming. And I'm not saying that now her book is several $1,000s. I don't think it is. I hope not. But I think a lot of people, because of that unpredictability, are just trying to buy up. And maybe people have been doing this for years, but now it seems to be paying off, this idea of just buying up any appearance you can get. You know, you hear a TV show like Wandavision's coming out, or Captain America and I forget, with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon or whatever. I don't know what that show's called. Whatever it is, but you know what I mean. People are just trying to buy up any appearance related to those characters. Yes, we want to get the first appearance of the Scarlet Witch. Yes, we'd like to get the first appearance of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all that. But who are the other characters that are involved with these characters in the storylines? People are just trying to buy everything up. And I think that speculation, that unpredictability, is causing a lot of these other books that you wouldn't think that would be so expensive, that you would think that wouldn't go up in value the way they have been, are now going up. So I do think there's a level of unpredictability where if people could buy these books cheap, they're just trying to get them as quickly as they possibly can before they show up on an episode of a TV show, or they're announced they're going to be a supporting character or a major character in the next series of films. People are trying to stay ahead of the game when it comes to this. So I think that's another reason why some of these other books that you wouldn't think would be going up so high are going up. And the last point that I came up with, I think more and more people are getting into this hobby, not because of the hobby, but because of investment. People that see everything that I've just been talking about, unpredictability, the TV shows, and figuring this is a source of money that I can make, an investment, if you will. So people, I think, who have deep pockets are trying to buy up everything, like I said to the second point I made, and are able to do it. Right? They're able to do it, and they're doing it. And another reason why getting certain books is becoming more and more difficult. You're going to have to fork out more money to get some of these books because people with deep pockets are buying them all up. I mean, that's just my opinion on why some of these books are going up the way they've been going up. You know, the 3 points. The only thing I could say right now is, for those that are, I know when these books go up, X-Men 4 and Tomb of Dracula 10 and all these other things, that's when all of a sudden all the collectors are trying to get them, and they're spending all these crazy amounts of money trying to add them to their collection. But if I were you, for those of you that are like that, I would try to stay ahead of the game as much as I could, and that means, you know, you have a Blade movie going to be coming out, right? Let's use Blade as an example. So everybody wants Tomb of Dracula 10. You know, it seems like it's not the right time to buy Tomb of Dracula 10, especially when we get closer to when the film comes out, because it's probably going to go up more, right? But that's a given. You know, Blade movie, Tomb of Dracula 10. If I were you, I'd start asking, what other characters is Blade involved with? You know, think beyond the Blade movie. Okay, think about what will happen after the Blade movie. Maybe a TV show or another movie appearance. Think beyond Blade. What other characters are related to Blade? That's in his family of storytelling, right? I mean, okay, we could say, well, Deacon Frost, right? Okay, Deacon Frost, that's Tomb of Dracula 13. Dracula, Tomb of Dracula 1, those are known, those are given. But you got to think of it this way. What other characters did Blade have encounters with? What other villain characters? What other supporting characters? Where do you think Marvel's going with Blade? Yeah, we got Blade. Does that mean Werewolf by Night is not too far away? We have Moon Knight TV series coming out. You should be thinking like that. See what characters are related to these main characters. I mean, yes, again, we all know Blade is one of the ones to get, right? But right now, that's really expensive. Again, that's another book that I bought a couple years ago when I came back to the hobby. A little after I bought the X-Men 4. I got it for a couple $100. I got an 8.0. Well, how much is an 8.0 now? It just shot up like crazy. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants it and having difficulty purchasing it. But if you really want to be ahead of the game, start thinking about the characters right now that are cheap, that you can maybe flip, that's really no big deal, hold on to them. You know, what do you have to lose if you only spend like $10 on a very, very high grade copy of a Blade character that may or may show up? Well, you might be out of $10. Well, big deal. You could maybe sell that down the line if that character is used, and maybe put it toward getting Blade's first appearance or somebody else's. That's what you should be thinking about. Now, maybe some of you are already thinking about that or think that that's common sense. Well, maybe it is and maybe it isn't. I don't know. But it just seems to me that, you know, following Instagram and following Facebook, you see all these people that all of a sudden want Tomb of Dracula 10 after it was announced. They all of a sudden want Agatha Harkness. You know, I mean, maybe that one was a little hard to predict. But some may not be so hard to predict if you just think about it a little bit more. And that's what I would be doing. Like I said, next week we'll get back to some crazy prices. I have another video lined up, but I just wanted to take a quick break and talk about this because I thought this was important. It's interesting. I find this whole thing interesting. That's why I've been releasing crazy comic book prices every week. I just find it completely interesting. And, you know, the prices, I mean, I've heard of books going up really fast in the past. Yeah, that's happened. We all know. But the way things have been going up right now, just like it's really crazy. It's delightful to see, especially since I have most of them. And for the ones I don't have, I really couldn't care less. Some of them at least. But it is interesting to see. But give me some of your thoughts. What are some of the reasons you think these things are going up so fast that I didn't mention or that I didn't elaborate more on in this video? Be interested in reading. Take care, everybody, and be safe.